Hello, YouTube fans, here again. And a big one, not my favourite there. This has been one of my best days and one of my favourite days in films. When I say the best, there definitely was a lot, and I mean a lot of films, very big films in that there. That being 1989, and again I'm going to do 10 out of 1. Why not? So the first one, without ado, would be number 10, Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. Now, normally, as you know, I'm not a lover of Walt Disney. If you love it, that's fair enough. There's lovers, there's haters. I don't mean I hate it, but I'm never a lover of Walt Disney. But on this occasion, there's only ever been a few films I like by Walt Disney. I don't mind Irby and The Date Fences. I don't mind Mary Poppins and all them lot. But one of my favourites of those would have been Tron. This would have to be my next favourite. I think it's a damn tough film. It's that era when you had practical special effects. I would miss that golden era. I like the fact it's kids, it gets sunk. I love the effects, like I said, I like repeating myself. I like the comedy, I like the humour. Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. Number 9. This has to be one of my favourite horror films. Doesn't get talked a lot about, very underestimated. If you like body horror, this has to be one of them. Society. Society is a slow burn, I've got to admit. It's a very slow burn, but it definitely pays off. It's a young lad, he expects his family of not being humans, and as the film goes on, they're not humans. And the worst is of always, he has a society, someone you're supposed to trust, and he turns out he's one of the main villains. Loved the effects. It was that golden era when you had practical effects. I fucking miss that golden era of practical special effects. I love it. Number 8, Back to the Future, Part 2. That's right. I just don't mind this one. I like the way now he's in the future. There are bits where I do feel we really need him to go back into the 50s because it already told that story. But nevertheless, I like Back to the Future too. I think Michael J. Fox as McFly does a good performance. There was reasons, I suppose, why the original actress that played his girlfriend didn't appear in this one, but instead was replaced by Elizabeth Shue. I like Elizabeth Shue, always do, very attractive, still is. There's a lot of reasons why she didn't prize the role, but saying that, I think Elizabeth Shue for the bits what she's in, yeah, I think it's a dud one. Back to the Future 2. Speaking of sequels, number 7, Lethal Weapon 2. Because of the big success in 87 with the original, they decided 2 years after to do Lethal Weapon 2. I still see them act it. I like Mel Gibson, Stu as Ritz. I think Danny Duffer as Murtaugh. Stu does a good performance. I think the villains are a lot more in it than what were in the original one. I also like the villain where it says, diplomatically immunity. I always love the ending with Danny Duffer shoots him in the head and he says, just been provoked. I do admit it's a lot darker than the original. The villains you love to hate. Yeah, I do actually like Lethal Weapon 2. It does have a lot more humour. I like the fact that it's first time Dante Pesci makes his appearance. It's a dud one. Number 6. Whew, another hard one. I'd say Ghostbusters 2. Is it as good as the original? No, but I still think it's a dud one. Some people argue saying it's shit. Some people say it's just a copy of the original, which, yeah, I can definitely see where they're coming from on that. But at the same time, you want to see a shit version of it. What's the reboot? What's the remake with the women? The only excitement I ever saw was the porn version of that, and that's a different story. But the sequel, I still think they do a good performance. I don't get Bill Murray's hate for it. I never have done. They were going to make a third one, but Bill Murray spat his dodo out and it never got made, which is a damn shame. Yeah, Ghostbusters 2. It's a dud one. It's definitely one of my favourites. Number 5. It's an hard one, this, because I say 89, they made loads. But you know, I'm a James Bond fan. I'm a sucker for James Bond. This over there's got a lot of shit, got panned, a lot of people shagged it off. They have shagged Timothy Dalton off. But why? I don't know. I don't know. I think this is a damn good, underestimated, and a damn good James Bond film. I think Timothy Dalton, even though sadly to say it was his last performance as Bond, I still think Timothy Dalton does a good performance. And it took us this, I'll say it again, took us this to actually see an uncut version, a complete uncut version of License to Kill, because it was ultra-violent and so on. That I actually like that. I think it had more depth to it. It was good now to see it's not going to be funny Bond like the later ones or once or more. It wasn't trying to imitate another Sean Connery. It was more serious, didn't have over the top dad sits like cars that go underwater and fucking missiles and all this. It was Bond going on a vendetta. I felt it had more of a dark side of Bond. You get to see Felix get badly wounded, a character, even though it had a lot of different actors that played him over the years. It's like one of the family members. You want Timothy Dalton as Bond to get his sweet revenge. License to Kill has everything. I like the accent, I like the scenery. I even like the Bond there because she's not your typical pretty there, even though she is pretty. She knows how to angle herself. She knows how to fire an airplane. She knows how to kick ass. Yeah, what I was going to say. License to Kill. Now I'm trying to think of the next ones. Number 4, Burps. A damn underestimated comedy in '89. I do love Tom Hanks. I think Tom Hanks is funny in the film. The fact he's suspecting this new neighbours, this vampire, not vampires, thinking of another film here, that's Fight Night. He's suspecting them of being cannibals, so I say that again. He's suspecting them to be cannibals, which it turns out they are. I actually don't mind the Burps. I think the Burps was funny. It was a funny comedy. It was very clever. Yeah, the Burps. What I was going to say about it. Number 3. Right, number 3. Again, it's going to be an hard one. I'm not going to say Karate Kid 3 because I'm not a lover of Karate Kid 3. And I won't say that one. This is hard because there's loads in 1989 of films. What a damn, keep saying it, damn, a lot of good films. I'm trying to think now what other films I can think of. What are my favourite in that golden year of 1989? I'm not going to say the 5th Elm Street film because sad to say that wasn't one of the best of Robert Englund's, but people might think you're saying this because not a lot of people like it, but believe it or not, I didn't mind it. That being Friday the 13th Part 8, Jason Takes Manhattan. Shock horror because nobody likes it. It gets panned. A lot of people say it's shit. A lot of people say it's the weakest one. But I didn't mind it. I like the fact it was on the SIP. It had to do something different. Yeah, and it's slow at burn at first, but it's on the SIP. It makes it a different gnome. I like the fact you do see him in Manhattan. Yeah, a lot of people was pissed because it says Jason Takes Manhattan. Say it again. Jason Takes Manhattan, but where's the fucking Manhattan? You don't really see Manhattan into the end, but I like that idea. I like the fact it's on a SIP, then he's in Manhattan, then he's in a train, then he's in a sewer, then he gets his final goodbye into the early 90s when they did Jason Goes to Hell. But yeah, I didn't mind it, believe it or not. I didn't mind it. Number 2. Right, this is another hard one. I'm trying to think, because like I say, there were loads of big films in 1989. I would have to say Class of 99. Not a lot of people talk about that film. Based on the future, yes, I do know we're no longer in 99, but don't forget what futuristic film got it right. I like the fact it sees robots disguised as humans, or not disguised, they are robots looking like humans. They go stupid, they're attacking people. It's that ballsy film and all because this bit's where you're even attacking kids. Yeah, that's a 99. And I've got to end it as number 1 because I remember seeing this back in the day, back when it came out on the cinema. Now, people might laugh. I actually didn't mind the TV series in the 60s, the one with Adam West. Yep, you've guessed it. Batman. I didn't mind it. Yeah, it's champy now. I look at it as a comedy, even though I don't think it's supposed to be a comedy. I can laugh at it. It's a time waster. I mean, if what's there a little bit on TV now, whether it's series 1, series 2, series 3, I can watch it as a time waster. There's nothing on. I can probably watch it for laughs and giggles. I didn't mind it, and it took me this to realise in the 1930s and 1940s they had a black and white Batman. I watched them and all. I didn't mind it. I didn't mind some of the comic books. I didn't mind the cartoon series. I didn't mind it. You know what I mean? It was Tim Burton. It was Batman. So yeah, that has to be number 1. I like Michael Keaton. I like Jack Nicholson. I like Tim Basinger. Number 1, Batman. That's my favourite films in 1989. Read them. Be smart. Be safe. See you later.